I'm really bad at following trends. You want to know how bad it is? I don't have a TikTok. There, I said it. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Anyways, another trend I didn't hop on was making a what I spend in a week video. Basically, there was a trend about a year ago in 2019 where YouTubers would post a video about what they would spend in a week at what age in so-so city. I watched so many of those videos because they were really fun to watch, seeing how much people spend at their age in the cities that they live in, and then the trend died out. But then more recently, I saw some videos pop up again doing the same trend, and I was like, hey, I should do one too. Being a 28-year-old living in one of the most expensive cities in the United States, being Los Angeles, I can make a video, what I spend as a 28-year-old living in Los Angeles. Please spend some money, I mean time, on smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm because that really helps out my video. Anyways, with that, let's get into the video and see how much I spend in a week. Since my fiance and I mainly work from home now, we don't go out to eat too much. We actually just go to the grocery store every 2 to 4 weeks, so 1 to 2 times a month. But we don't go to any grocery store. We go to Costco. That's right, Costco.
But I'll pick some up at Costco. Okay. Because everybody knows that Costco keeps the cost low.
Anyways, we typically get things in bulk, so the first thing that I ate on Monday morning was a serving of oatmeal from this big bulk box of oatmeal. That comes out to be about 21 cents for just one serving of oatmeal from this box. Next to that, I have my own cold brew that I make myself. I don't go to Starbucks, I don't go to a coffee shop. I actually get coffee beans, grind them up, and brew it in my own mason jars at home. And that comes out to be about 20 cents a serving. After a couple hours of the remoter experience of talking to my coworkers, doing a little bit of code, reviewing some PRs and all that, I noticed on one of the Slack groups that I'm part of at work say that there is an EA game sale. One of the games that I saw on sale was actually Jedi Fallen Order. I decided to get this game and that cost me $29.99.
He just kills you.
Later in the afternoon, I actually had a doctor's appointment, and this is not my usual thing, but this just happened to be in the week that I chose to keep track of my expenses. So I had to go to the doctor's office because something came up that I was kind of worried about and I wanted to get checked out. So I had to pay a copay of $162.25 since I was seeing a specialist or a gastroenterologist. After that, I didn't even mention on the way back home that I was craving a hot dog, and the doctor's office was right next to Costco. And if you're familiar with the Costco hot dog, it's only $1.50 for a hot dog as well as a soft drink. So I ended up getting that and spending $1.62 because tax was included. After I got back home and finally that night, I ended up cooking one of my favorite Filipino dishes, and that was chicken adobo. Also growing up, my mom would cook it for me all the time, and whenever I'd visit my grandma or she'd be with us, she'd cook it for me too. It's super easy to make. It's just a pound of chicken, some soy sauce, vinegar, garlic, and bay leaf, and peppercorn. You just put it all into a pot, let it stew up for like an hour, and then you're basically done. I made about a pound of chicken, which is about 6 servings, and then I had some rice, which came out to be about 46 cents to make. Being that we have a 25-pound bag of rice and the amount of servings that come in that, it's only about 4 cents, so the total for dinner per serving was only 50 cents to make. So just on Monday, I ended up spending about $194.77. So the next day, I actually looked up a couple things online that my doctor suggested for my appointment yesterday that I should look into. So I got a canister of multivitamin gummies as well as a couple canisters of Metamucil. Since this was a purchase, I just wanted to calculate this in here as just buying them since I made the purchase that day. That ended up being $51.80, and we got it from, you guessed it, Costco. Being the person of habit, like I mentioned earlier, I had my regular oatmeal serving as well as my 20-cent cold brew, bringing it at another 41 cents for breakfast. And then I went to work. After about a 2-hour work meeting on that Tuesday, I actually just didn't know what to eat, but it was lunchtime, and my fiance and I randomly found some cheese raviolis and some broccoli in the freezer, and we ended up making that. I think for a serving of each, it totaled up to be $2.29. Going back to work after lunch, I noticed there was a notification on my phone that said I had a charge on my credit card paying a bill. And I said, what bill was due today? Well, it happened to be my internet bill for $119. Because since we're working from home, I actually pay a premium for gigabit internet. Well, actually, I also game, so having low ping is really good to have that advantage. And then I just had another serving of leftovers, which was another 50 cents for the adobo and rice. That brought my total spending for Tuesday to be $174 spent. So I don't have to mention this again. You can just assume that I have the oatmeal and the cold brew, 41 cents. But I also forgot to mention that I have monthly expenses like the mortgage, insurances, as well as utilities. So let me go through that right here. So our monthly mortgage is actually $3,454.70. This ends up being about $863.68 per week. Being that my fiance and I are also joint on the title for this home, we ended up getting life insurance policies for both of us, only spending about $32 each per month. I believe the monthly premium is about $64.68, coming out to be about $8.09 per week per person. I also have my own truck, so I do have to pay my auto insurance. It's the same truck that I've been driving since high school. Since I'm not on the commuter experience anymore and I never really drove the truck anyway, basically I'm only paying the lowest amount of insurance on it just in case, say, it gets stolen. Knock on wood. I kid you not, the monthly premium just for having my truck in the garage is about $3.47 or about 87 cents a week. It's pretty cheap when you're not really driving your car. I mentioned the internet bill, but I didn't mention my phone bill. Our phone bill actually comes out to be about $96.19 for 2 lines, or about $12.02 per week. We actually had an internet outage when this week was happening, so having this plan where we can just turn on the Wi-Fi hotspot on our phone came super useful. And then that leaves water, garbage, as well as electricity. So we recently got our solar panels activated, so we're actually generating more energy than we're using, which is pretty awesome. So I believe the average amount of money that we're spending on utilities in terms of water, garbage, and electricity is only about $100 a month total, which comes out to be about $23.01 a week. By the time lunchtime came around, I simply just made myself a peanut butter and honey sandwich, not a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but a peanut butter and honey sandwich. And the reason why I make this is because it's been a favorite of mine, I think, ever since 2nd grade. I noticed one of the girls in my class at that age was making peanut butter and honey when I had a peanut butter and jelly, and I thought that was really cool. So I asked my dad to make that for me, and ever since, I've always had peanut butter and honey. Again, knowing that we go to Costco, we buy 2 loaves of bread for $6.99. Canister of peanut butter, I believe was in a 2-pack, was $11.99. And then a couple honey bears cost $13.19. Doing the math by saying that the peanut butter has about 50 servings, the honey bear has, I think, 32 servings in a bottle. If I just do a serving per each and then a loaf of bread, the amount to make one peanut butter and honey sandwich is just 95 cents, which is kind of weird. Why does my sandwich cost more than coffee? Later in the evening, on off-peak electrical hours, I ended up doing a load of laundry, so I used about 5 cents worth of laundry detergent. So Wednesday's total cost ended up being $1.41 minus the monthly expenses of $907.67. Again, let's just keep that number, put it in our pocket, and we'll talk about it later. So the next day, I actually totally skipped breakfast. I think it was just because I wasn't really hungry. I just drank some water, which technically water isn't free, but just for the sake of this video, it's kind of negligible. So come lunchtime, I actually made a grilled cheese sandwich. Now, what I'm about to tell you might kind of trigger a couple people, but if it doesn't, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Basically, what I do when I make a grilled cheese sandwich is I smear some mayonnaise on the outside of the bread before putting it in the frying pan. This is a secret that I do, but I really like the crunch it generates when I'm making a grilled cheese sandwich, and you don't really taste the mayonnaise anyway when it's cooked. This cost me about 55 cents to make. The 2 pieces of bread, the slice of cheese, and then the serving of mayonnaise. I had my usual 20-cent cold brew, but then also my stomach started feeling kind of upset. You're probably laughing at me right now. It's probably the mayonnaise. No, it wasn't. I think it was something else. But I ended up having a can of LaCroix, or is it La Croix? Because it's French. Anyways, I don't know. I took French in high school, but I think this was made in Wisconsin anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Anyways, 1 can of LaCroix cost 40 cents. And then I'm not sure why we did this, but by the time dinner time came around, me and my fiance were really hungry and didn't really want to prepare anything. And I was just like, you want chocolate chip pancakes? Yeah, why not? So I'm honestly not sure how many pancakes we made, but a serving of pancakes only really comes out to be about 34 cents. So we made a few of those and I ate a couple servings. 34 cents. And then for some reason, around 11 p.m., me and my fiance actually had another urge to eat because we were hungry, probably because it was just carbs for dinner. But we have these instant pho things from Costco as well that cost about $1.03, bringing our total for Thursday to $2.52. It is finally Friday, and you guessed it, I start the day off with my 20-cent coffee, but actually I didn't have oatmeal today. I just had a plain old protein bar, which was just 31 cents. I actually had a one-on-one with my managers that day. One of my managers, we actually just spent like 30 minutes talking about the stock market, which if you're not aware, it's going crazy right now. That talk actually built me up an appetite, so I thought to myself, hey, why don't me and my fiance have something really nice? We ended up getting this gnocchi kit from Costco that cost about, I think, $6.49 with 3 servings. Cooking that, me and my fiance had our own, which came out to be about $2.16 per serving. And just like every Friday night, me and my fiance got ready, got cleaned up to spend the night on the couch. So we actually have this free trial for HBO Max. So we turned that on and decided to watch The OC. I was part of the people that just watched One Tree Hill, for anyone who knows about that show. But anyways, we decided to watch The OC because me and my fiance never watched it back in high school, and that is what we turned on that night. While we were watching The OC, I cooked up some chicken wings in the air fryer, and that came out to be about $2.19 per serving, bringing the total cost for Friday to be about $4.86. Since we stayed up watching The OC that night, we actually didn't wake up the next morning until about noon. Also, my fiance and I actually work part-time jobs outside of our full-time jobs, so we're super exhausted by the end of the week. Since we have leftovers from the week, like the chicken adobo and the gnocchi kit, we ended up eating that, and that was essentially free. I did, however, that afternoon find on Humble Bundle a couple bundle sales. 2 bundles that I bought for $15 each were book bundles. One bundle was, I believe, a programming books bundle, which had books on like Java programming, C# programming. I believe the total amount of books from the 2 bundles I got was actually 34 books, so that's pretty good for $30. Also, these bundles are going to good causes like the Bail Project and the American Red Cross. Anytime that I'm donating to a cause, I like to do that, and if I could get something out of it too, that's really nice. Being that that was the only thing that I spent money on that day, that brought Saturday's cost to just $30. And finally on Sunday, my fiance and I did the unspeakable that we never really do, and that was leave the house. Call us boring, but we really took in the stay-in order very seriously. We tried to minimize almost to nothing to going out, just to stay in, just self-sustain, have the food that we needed to live, and we really just didn't want to risk anything. Anyways, we really wanted to get some Vietnamese pho, and there was this really good place that we would always walk to just a block away from our old apartment in Koreatown called K-Town Pho. We used to go to this place all the time. So that day when we went to pho, we ended up spending $28.93 on 2 combination phos. It was at this moment that I pulled out my phone and ordered some donuts from one of our favorite places in Mid-City called SK Donuts, and I got 4 specialty donuts for a total of $17.52. I mean, you gotta check this place out if you're ever in LA. Just check out these choices right here that I'm gonna put up on the screen. Since we got the donuts, we decided, hey, why don't we get some noodles? So we ended up going to Hollywood to one of our favorite places called Palms. If there is one thing my fiance loves, it's noodles, and I like them too. These Thai noodle dishes are honestly a cure for her. Like if she's
super PO'd at me, if we get into an argument,
and I want this argument to end, I just say, hey, want some noodles? And then bam, just like that, those 2 orders of noodles, pad kee mao and pad see ew, came out to be about $24.07, which brought the total to Sunday to be $71.02. So even with the one-time co-payment for my doctor's visit and the internet bill, minus the monthly recurring expenses that I mentioned on Wednesday, the total came out to be, just for this week, $478.58. I actually forgot to mention this earlier, but my fiance and I have a few subscription plans to Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, Amazon Prime, which provides our Prime Video, and we just got a Peloton. My fiance actually takes care of the Netflix, and then I actually pay for Hulu and Amazon Prime. Hulu is packaged with our Spotify. It was a promotion that they had a couple years ago, I believe, which comes out to be about $7.99 per month for Hulu and Spotify. Prime Video, coming with Amazon Prime, also comes out to be about $8.99. And like I mentioned, we have a Peloton, so we recently got that, and I'm on a payment plan to pay that off for $66 a month, and you also have to get a subscription to access their classes for your membership, which costs about $39 a month. This ends up making the weekly expenses that $478.58, plus the $907.67 I mentioned on Wednesday's day about the monthly expenses, plus $28.30 from the subscriptions, for a total of, yeah, I screwed this up. It's actually $1,414.55 per week. So honestly, I don't always keep track of my expenses this way, but I do keep track of my expenses through my Mint app. And the Mint app is basically an app where you can link up all your bank accounts, credit card accounts, to show how much you're spending and how much your income is and what your cash flow is. It's basically a useful app to keep track of your expenses like this. This isn't a sponsorship or anything. I just really like the app and I really like money. So don't forget to smash the like button to help this video out. Keeping track of spending is actually a really good habit if you don't already do it, because you really don't know how much you actually spend until you actually see how much you spend. With how easy it is to spend money, like having the buy now option on your Amazon app, or with social media where you can just link your credit card and then have a buy now on impulse for an ad that's just on Instagram, it's really hard to have some self-control. But you know, what do I know? I'm just an average guy living in Los Angeles, 28 years old. What you could do is check out these other videos, how old these people are and how much they're spending in their cities, or you can also check out Millennial millionaire Graham Stephan and his reactions to these videos too. With that said, everyone, thanks so much for watching the video. If you haven't already done so, please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also ring the little notification bell so you know the next time that I post a video on my channel. Also consider sharing this video to anyone else who'd like to see what I spend in a week living in Los Angeles. Here's my Instagram handle. You can find me there from time to time. I post there, you know, what I'm doing, whether it's after a workout or what I'm eating or how to make my 20-cent iced coffee. Also, if you haven't already done so, there's 2 links down in the description below to Webull as well as Robinhood, where you can get 3 free stocks. That's right. If you want to get into investing, you can get 3 free stocks right off the bat if you check out my links down in the description below. I don't think any millionaires will be reacting to this video anytime soon, but if they do, and instead of Millennial Mortgage, just imagine if CNBC did a profile on our monthly spending instead of just buying a house. Because before the illness happened, I was probably spending a lot of money. With the knowledge that you gained from this video, and if you learned anything new, let's get to work.